Hey y'all, welcome back to Mo TV, independent thinking for the free mind, coming at you live on this Wednesday. First and foremost, let me address my ex. I told myself and I told you I was gonna grant myself the best wish and live my life like you don't exist. So please cease and desist off my shit. Deuces, bitch. Moving on to the people who haven't screwed me or burned me. ah. I just moved back to North Carolina a month and change ago. And at my new apartment complex, it is bitchin' here. I love it. I mean, the pool, the basketball court, the volleyball courts, the amazing walk around space, the gym, and the apartment itself. This is a very, very nice place to call home. Unfortunately, shitty people do travel to even the nicest places. And ironically, the same lady who was nice to me and helped me fill out my application to apply to move in, and who acted like she liked me from day one, she is the most recent fakest bitch I've come across. Because how nice she acted from day one and every day after, including to how extra sexy she had dressed at the pool party and how extra close she got to me in the pool at the pool party. I really would have thought she wanted more than just highs and buys and a simple exchange of gestures. I would have thought she wanted more in depth connections. And she kept portraying this message to me, which I was perceiving. And a couple days ago, it all blew up in my face. So, first, I had asked her out, you know, to lunch a couple times, and she had said yes the first time, but then randomly got busy at the moment of and canceled. And then I was nice enough to still bring her what she wanted for lunch, exactly how she wanted it. I ordered it, I bought it, and I drove and brought it to her. And, you would have thought that with such a kind, generous gesture like that she would have been appreciative and respectful, and maybe even willing to reciprocate. No. It made her feel entitled, it made her head grow, it made her act fake as fuck and switch up instantly. Because as she had canceled on me that day, and I brought her lunch that she wanted that day, she had then rescheduled for the very next day. At which point, she yet again canceled on me at the last minute again. And a couple weeks had passed, and she hadn't really rescheduled or even apologized or really even explained herself. She just kept bullshitting me with, I'm busy, I'm busy. I've been so busy. I'm the busiest person in the world. You find a busy bee, I'm busier than that bee. Yeah. And then a couple days ago, for the first time, because, she told me she smoked and I smoke, and I'm like, to any avid stoner out there, you always trying to try different strains of weed, especially if you could get some better shit than what you're currently smoking. So I was trying to see if I could get some bud off of her guy, and she had responded and said, "How much do you want?" And I told her I was supposed to get a half off this guy. That's 14 grams for those of you who don't know. And originally I was supposed to meet up with her guy 45 minutes after the order was placed. I had a few things to do, so I said, "Hey, I'll let you know when I'm on my way." I didn't end up getting to that guy's place until 2 hours after, I had placed the order. And you figure by that kind of time, everything would be bagged and tagged and ready to go for the sale. In all that time, him and her had been plotting to scam me on this half. That's right. So instead of me getting 14 grams for $120, I got ripped off and paid the most for an eighth than I ever did in my life. $120 for 3.5 grams. And this asshole was still trying to make it seem like it was 14 grams. Now, I knew it wasn't 14 grams. But because I figured I could trust her, and I figured that her friend was trustworthy, and she told me it was safe, I figured, hey, maybe if the guy is lying tonight, he'll fix it tomorrow. I figured, hey, maybe because she acts like she likes me and I've been nothing but good to her, she would make sure that I don't get screwed by her friend. Nope. She set it up, he played along, and they both were in on it. And By the time the next day rolls around and I'm telling her to contact me so that he could contact me and I could get what I paid for, this bitch has him call me, and then she texts me saying, he's about to call you, and once he calls you, don't call or text me for anything. So she was already having an attitude after he screwed me over, and then when he calls me, he has an attitude on the phone. Trying to make it seem like he didn't screw me, and then gaslighting me to say, how do you know it's not 14 grams? Like, well, anyone who has working eyes and smokes weed can know the difference between 14 grams and 3.5 grams. I mean, it's a pretty big difference in numbers alone. This guy was a little bitch on the phone, got a hissy fit with me, questioned my intelligence, and then hung up on me and blocked me like a little bitch. I called him back private. He picks up hello, and I'm like, oh, so you just rip off people you don't know and you hang up on them like a little bitch. Is that what you do? And the guy hung up right after I said that. It's like, yep, that's what he does. He's a scheming, lying little bitch. And, I feel sorry for people that this is how they have to make their money. It's like you couldn't hack it in an honest job. You couldn't hack it by being a decent person. You couldn't actually sell people what they're buying. You have to rip people off. Wow, I feel so sorry for you. And it's like, the joke is really on him because you got me for $120 that night. But if you had been honest, you would have gotten a loyal consumer and you would have made like 10 times that. So it's like, you're stupid. And then as I'm texting her, letting her know, he called me with an attitude and he's just deciding to rip me off. I ask her, since this is her best friend, she told me, can you get that for me? And this bitch proceeds to say, no, she can't get it for me. And then in addition to that, she starts insulting my intelligence. She calls me dumb. She calls me stupid. She calls me a dumbass. She even compares her entire life situation to mine like she even knows my life situation. I met this woman a month and a couple days ago. We did not get in depth as far as what we own, what we have, and our whole life story. And she proceeds to sum my life up like she fucking knows it. And she's like, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're a dumbass. You should have known better than to ask me about the weed. You should have known better than to buy it if it didn't look right to you. You should have a scale so you could weigh it out. And I'm like, okay, my intelligence has nothing to do with you being deceitful and your company being trash that would rip me off. That's a you guys problem. Okay? I shouldn't need a scale if I'm dealing with honest people because you shouldn't be trying to rip me off. And then she's like, I make so much more money than you. I have my own apartment and blah, 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 blah. And the list goes on and on. And I'm like, wow, this is the same bitch I treated to lunch the other day? This is the same bitch I was trying to take out twice? This is the same bitch that was all over me at the pool party? This is the same bitch that pretended to be so nice, and yet she had nothing but evil intentions towards me. And, this really is a sad reality that there are so many fake women out here. And it's not just North Carolina, it's everywhere. And I'm just curious with my own gender, why? Why are you making us look bad? Why are you living out here being deceitful, using people, setting people up? I'm like, you have to have self-respect. If you don't respect your own gender, if you don't respect your own people, you must respect yourself. Do you have no shame in you that there are things you wouldn't be willing to do to rip someone off for money? Do you have no shame in you that there's nothing you wouldn't be willing to do to get a free lunch? Do you have no shame in you that you would tell any single lie and not care to be held accountable for the lies you tell? I mean, you would lie about anything? I mean, we got these disgraceful women out here lying about being lesbians knowing that they're cocksuckers, lying about being raped knowing that nobody ever forced themselves on them. I'm like, you are lying about forbidden things that you're not supposed to lie about. A, if you have self-respect, you should never want to live a lie for yourself. B, if you respect who you're dealing with, you shouldn't want to lie to them either. But I mean, just to live a lie, honestly, you're a joker. The joke's on you because if you have to lie to get what you want, you're honestly admitting you couldn't get it any other way. You know that, right? It's like anybody could lie, but it takes a backbone to have character and to do right by people. So I'm disgraced by her. I'm ashamed for her. I have lost all respect for her. And when I see that bitch, I'm only giving her daggers in my eyes. That's it. She and her shit friends can keep that money. I already made my money back. But I'm just saying, women, you gotta step up.